Hello, welcome to our lesson about equitable teaching practices. I'm Miss Carpenter. First, we'll start with what makes up an equitable teaching practice. Well, we have three parts that we're going to talk about mainly. It's equity versus fairness, growth mindset versus fixed mindset, and culturally relevant pedagogy. With our first one here, we have equity versus fairness. Equity has a lot of definitions, but for education it means a measure of achievement and opportunity in education. Equity means that every student doesn't receive the same instruction, and that instruction is appropriate and reasonable accommodations that the student may need in order to succeed. Fairness just means that every student gets the same instruction type. They don't get any modifications to their instruction. Let's try an example to better see the difference between equity and fairness. So Rebecca is in my Algebra 1 class and she has 5 younger siblings. She spends most of her free time taking care of them because her parents work long days, so they're not around much. Rebecca usually only turns in half finished work. She doesn't spend much time on homework outside of class. So I want you to take a second and think what I could do to get Rebecca to be successful. Okay, my recommendation was for her to do a few from each section of the assignment, and I did that because that way she can get the majority of the type of problems that I assign with only doing probably half the work. And this way it doesn't put any more stress on her that she already has. And this is equity over fairness because not every student will receive this, and this will help Rebecca be more successful in the long run. She'll do better on tests because she gets that extra practice without doing all of the work. Our next equitable teaching practice is growth mindset versus fixed mindset. And growth mindset is just someone who believes that intelligence can be developed, and fixed mindset is someone who thinks that intelligence is fixed. They think people are just born with intelligence, can't be changed. And a little bit more into growth mindset. Recent research shows that students with growth mindset outperform their classmates. This happens because they believe intelligence can be developed, so they put in more effort. When they put in more effort, it promotes student engagement. And even when students have teachers with growth mindset, they're more successful to be found. Teachers that have growth mindset believe every student can learn, and because they believe that, they commit to finding a way to make sure that student learns. And now with fixed mindset, students with fixed mindset tend to worry more about looking smart and worrying about making mistakes. So they're not really thinking that they can achieve. They think that they're just in a slum. Teachers that have fixed mindset decide certain students aren't capable and don't take certain steps to help them overcome the fixed mindset. Our last equitable teaching practice is culturally relevant pedagogy. And this just is a way to teach using the backgrounds and knowledge and experience of the students to construct lessons. It's broken up into 3 components: academic success, cultural competency, critical conscientiousness. There's framework also to revise these tasks. Our first one is academic success. And academic success is students must be provided with the tools to achieve academic proficiency. Students need to develop skills in literacy and numeracy to expand their technological, social, and political abilities. So students just need to show and be given tools to achieve academic success. That's what it's really getting at. Our next component utilizes students' culture as a vehicle for learning, and this provides students with curriculum that builds on their prior knowledge and cultural experiences. So it depends on where you're teaching in like the United States. Like Midwest is different from teaching on the East Coast, and you can use that information and knowledge to help teach your students better. Or if you know a student just moved from a new part of the country, you can kind of help them transition into this new culture. And our last component, our students critique society, engage in the world and other things critically. Students must develop a broader social political awareness that allows them to critique the cultural norms, values, and institutions that produce and maintain social inequities. So this one's getting the students to think about society, develop their opinions, critique it, and gets them aware of what's happening. And lastly, here's the framework we can use to adjust high-level tasks to be culturally relevant. You can see there's 5 different components, and each component is broken up into 2 or 3 levels of addressing. So each component has a certain way, the level of addressing, a certain way that it can be brought in to the high-level math tasks. All right, that's all I got for the equitable teaching. So thanks for listening.